watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our special edition of Open Mic. This week we have been celebrating the commemorating the National Medicine Safety Week 2025. So our topic for this evening's Open Mic will be with my guest, Yohannes. She is a pharmacist from the Pharmacovigilance Center here in Eritrea, the Ministry of Health, and also gets to be a member of the English news desk as well to read the news in English. So welcome to our program anyway. So dear viewers, like I've said, we will be talking about the National Medicine Safety Week 2025 that has kicked off since 20th of October, of course, the 2025. Heaven, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my first line of questioning here. What is Medicine Safety Week, and what are the objectives of the campaign?
Thank you very much. Medicine Safety Week is a national campaign that is organized by the Ministry of Health. This year it has started on the 20th of October, and the major objective of this campaign is to promote the safe use of medicines and at the same time to report adverse drug reactions to healthcare providers whenever they are encountered. So basically the objective is to raise awareness on patients and healthcare professionals on the need or the importance of reporting adverse drug reactions and on the safe usage of medicines.
Okay. All right, Heaven, what are the things a consumer should do when taking medication?
Perfect. So medicines, as long as they are biological or chemical entities that enter into our body, we expect some reactions afterwards. And as such, we should be very careful when we are using them. So the most important thing that a consumer should do while taking medicines is we need to have proper or enough information regarding our medicines. What medicines are we taking? What is the name of our medicine to begin with? What is it use it for? What ailment is it there to treat? What is the exact dose that I'm supposed to take? When am I supposed to take it? What interaction does it have with current medications that I'm taking, or maybe with food that I'm consuming? Because sometimes some medicines we advise not to take with dairy products, for instance, because it hinders the absorption of the product of the medication. Am I supposed to take it before meal or after meal? How am I supposed to store it? Where am I supposed to store it? All such information regarding our medicines, we need to have them. So we can ask our pharmacist or our healthcare provider regarding the medication, or we might be able to read the leaflet or the package insert that is found within the product that entails all the available information of the product. So before we begin taking a medication, we need to have proper information of such things.
Just a follow-up question to that. How safe is the medicine that is getting its way to Eritrea through the Pharmacovigilance Center?
Great. So medicines, before they are launched to the market or before they are deemed to be safe for human consumption, they should undergo rigorous clinical trials. Before that, preclinical trials on animals, and then clinical trials, rigorous clinical follow-up on humans, and then afterwards they are deemed to be safe for consumption and they are launched to the market. And when we come to the country, we don't have clinical trials. So when we're importing medicines from abroad, or when we are giving market authorization to the local manufacturers, for instance, as a pharmaceutical company, pre-market assessment, rigorous pre-market assessment is conducted to make sure the drug is safe for human consumption or for the Eritrean market. We do registration process or evaluation process, and we conduct quality analysis before they're launched to the market. Even after they are launched to the market, the drug might have some hidden properties that we did not get to catch up during the clinical trial period. So even while once they are launched to the market, we don't consider them to be safe. So as long as they are in the Eritrean market, a rigorous follow-up is conducted by the National Medicines and Food Administration.
Mm-hmm. All right, Heaven, what are some of the irrational practices patients do when taking medicines that are assumed to be safe?
That's a very important question. One of the major objectives of this campaign is also to raise awareness on such irrational practices, which we consider them to be very safe, but actually are not. To mention some, the first one that I would want to highlight is self-medication. Sometimes what we tend to do is we remember our symptoms from the past, and we might have leftover medicines at home, and claiming we had such symptoms in the past and we were relieved by that medicine, we self-medicate, or we tend to prescribe medicines for ourselves and we consume them. Or similar to that, we might share medicines with our family members or with our neighbors, claiming that we have very similar symptoms. But this is a very irrational practice. In a way, different diseases can have very similar symptoms. Just because we have similar symptoms doesn't mean our medicines should be the same. So this is a very irrational practice. If we are self-medicating, we might be treating a very different disease with a very inappropriate drug, or we might not be taking the accurate dose. We might be underdosing ourselves, or we might be overdosing ourselves. So self-medicating or sharing medicines with neighbors or relatives is a very irrational practice. That is a very common practice in our country as well, and I would want to highlight this. Another is what comes with self-medication is overdosing or underdosing oneself. Claiming the medicine is very strong, so I would just want to take a minimum dose. Sometimes what we tend to do is we skip the regimen. If I'm supposed to take 3 times a day, I tend to take 2 times a day, claiming the medicine is very strong for me. Or the reverse, I want quick recovery, and as such I take 2 tablets instead of taking 1, or maybe 3 times a day when I was actually supposed to take 2 times a day, and similar to that. Another irrational practice that I would want to highlight is regarding the storage of our medicines. There is an assumption that medicines should be stored in a refrigerator, and any preparation, be it solid preparation, be it liquid preparation, is safe when it's stored in a refrigerator. But this is very irrational practice, because usually medicines, they require room temperature. Solid preparations, they require room temperature. So if we store them in a cool, dry place where there is no direct access to sunlight, then that's enough. An ideal place would be a dry and cool cabinet, for instance. It's only very few medications that require refrigeration. So there is an irrational belief that whatever medication is supposed to be kept in a refrigerator, which is not rational, because keeping it in a refrigerator might actually have an effect on the therapeutic effectiveness of the medicine. Another is regarding disposal. What we usually do is with expired or unused medications that we have at home, leftover medications that we have at home, we tend to dispose it off with regular household garbage, or we tend to flush it down the toilet, or we tend to burn it, or maybe bury it under the soil. These are some of the common practices in our country which are supposed to be or considered to be safe, but these are not. They're very hazardous to the environment, and they also have very tremendous health consequences. So if we have unused or leftover or expired medicines at home, then what we should do is we need to return it back to community pharmacies or to the nearby health facility where proper disposal can be undertaken by the responsible entity. Last but not least, I would want to highlight the usage of medical products for cosmetic purposes. This is something that has been a concern over the past few years. Females, usually, there is an assumption, or there is a usual practice that medical products, especially steroid-containing products, tend to be used for medical purposes, especially for skin whitening purposes, or for increasing body weight, or as body enhancers. But this is very, very hazardous, because medicines, they are medicines. They are supposed to treat ailments. Exposing yourself chronically for such kind of medical products, just simply to whiten your skin or to have a brighter complexion, is very hazardous. It can have very hazardous health consequences. Some of them are carcinogenic, so on the long run they might have carcinogenic effect on us. They might they might cause hormonal disruption. They might cause infertility or disorders in the reproductive system. They can cause organ damage, for instance, liver damage or kidney damage, and other different health consequences. So I would want to highlight this is a very irrational practice. Medicines are only medicines, and they should be only used for therapeutic purposes. Regarding skin-related issues, then we can consult a dermatologist or maybe a pharmacist, but we should not take medicines for skin lightening or for cosmetic purposes.
Mm-hmm. Heaven, I'm going to take you back to which kind of medications are to be put in the refrigerator and which are not. So, because I am one of those people that puts medicine in the fridge. So what what kind of medication are we supposed to be put in the fridge, and the ones that are supposed to be kept in at room temperature.
Great. So as I said before, generally it's safe for medicines to be kept at room temperature in a cool and dry space. Usually solid preparations, for instance tablets, capsules, these are safe to be kept in a cabinet or in a cool and dry place. Regarding specific or regarding different instruction, then we can refer to the package insert or to the leaflet, which clearly instructs where specific dosage form should be kept. For instance, preparations like insulin. Insulin is supposed to be kept in a refrigerator, but other solid dosage forms, they are safe to be kept at room temperature.
Okay, Heaven, what are medicine side effects? Because you've mentioned quite a few. Can we completely avoid medicine adverse effects? If not, what should we do to minimize the risks?
Excellent. That is one of the core objectives of this campaign. As I've already said, the objective of the campaign is to promote safe use of medicines and to advocate the reporting of side effects whenever they are encountered. So as I've mentioned before, medicines are chemical or biological entities, and they're foreign bodies that are introduced, or foreign particles that are introduced to our bodies. So as such, we expect the immune system to elicit some responses, or we expect some reactions afterwards. So medicine side effects in general are defined as any untoward or unwanted event that occurs after the usage of a medicine or following the use of a drug. So medicine side effects, we usually use the term side effect. They can be minor side effects, for instance, simple rash, nausea, vomiting, headache, dizziness, or they can be very severe ones, for instance, anaphylactic shock, or they might even lead to death. So as I've already mentioned before, as long as we're taking medications, we expect some reactions, be it minor or major. So we can prevent or we can minimize medicine side effects. The critical component here is if we follow the instructions or if we take medications as per the instructions, then we can minimize the side effects to a very great deal. But what happens if we cannot minimize them, or what happens if we cannot completely avoid them? Then that's the special area where we need to report to healthcare providers. There is an irrational assumption that whenever you encounter side effect when you're taking a medication, person assumes that the medication is actually working or it has started to work. That's why I'm experiencing such symptoms, so I don't have to report. But medication side effects, be it minor or major, they must be reported to a healthcare provider. So if you're reporting, then you are informing your healthcare provider, and it depends on your healthcare provider whether you're going to continue with that medicine with minimal side effects, whether they're going to change the medicine for you with the one that causes minimal side effects, or whether they can adjust the dose for you, or whether they can simply give you advice on it. Not only for yourself, but reporting can also help the community. Like I've already said before, medicines, they undergo rigorous clinical trials before they are launched to the market, but that doesn't mean they're completely safe and we know 100% or we have enough information about them. As long as they are on the market or in the Eritrean market, we tend to learn something new about them. So if I'm reporting the side effects, then indirectly I'm informing a new aspect of the medicine that was not studied before. So by reporting, I can also help the community. In a way, the healthcare providers or the responsible entity can take the corrective and preventive actions. That way, such kind of incidents or events are not repeated in the other category of patient or in the community. So reporting is not only for my benefit, it's also for the benefit of my community.
Okay, so Heaven, what final remarks would you like to add in regards to this National Week, the National Medicine Safety Week?
Great. So just to sum up, I would want to highlight on the safe use of medicines or the rational use of medicines, using medicines rationally, having enough information about our medicines, asking our pharmacists if we don't have enough information, following the rational use of medicines, properly storing our medicines, properly disposing our medicines, and taking medicines as per the prescription or as per the order can greatly enhance to the safety of our medicines and to our safety. And whenever side effects are encountered, we completely have to avoid the assumption that the medication has started working. That's why we're experiencing such symptoms. But we should report to our healthcare provider at the earliest possible time.
Thank you for being here with us, joining us on our floor, Heaven. Dear viewers, as we talk about the National Medicine Safety Week 2025. I hope you have gained a few lessons on how to keep yourself safe with medicine. That wraps up this week's Open Mic. It is good night from us.